Lesson 253. Myself is ruler of the universe. Welcome to the Qigong Support for A Course in Miracles students. I am Judith and this is part of the Lucid Mind Center. And the reason this is called Qigong Support is because after reading and contemplating the lesson together with you, I'm going to guide you to Qigong classes which I have recorded specifically for the idea of what is sin, connected to lessons 251 to 260. I'm going to give you more instructions at the end. And as promised that I was going to take you onto my travels. Right now, what you can see behind me, this is Andalusia, the south of Spain, near Seville. And I'm here on a Qigong retreat. I'm assisting my teacher, my Qigong teacher, Marissa. And it's quite exciting to be together with a new generation of Qigong instructors and being part of this again. So let's see what the course is telling us about today. Lesson 253. Myself is ruler of the universe. It is impossible that anything should come to me unbidden by myself. So whatever happens, it is something which you knew that it was coming. Even in this world, it is I who rule my destiny. What happens is what I desire. What does not occur is what I did not want to happen. This must I accept, for thus am I led past this world to my creations, children of my will, in heaven where my holy self abides with them and Him who has created me. Sometimes it's difficult to accept that everything what happens to us is actually something which we kind of desired, which we kind of called forth to happen. And it's not always that everything that we have desired is happy. Sometimes things happen to us which we think we didn't want. But I have been telling you quite often that it is not so much about those happy things you think that you want. Sometimes it's just wondering how would it feel if that and that happened. Underestimating of how life will actually teach you or give you the answer to this question. So sometimes when you just say, I wonder how it would feel, maybe something terrible to a neighbor happens. And then you think, oh, I wonder how I would react in this kind of situation. And this kind of wonder, it is a very, very powerful manifestation that you might actually experience exactly that, what the neighbor has experienced, just because you're wondering what it would feel like. It goes both ways. When you are wondering how something feels like, then it might actually happen. On the other hand, when something is happening to you and you're like, why is this happening to me? Why am I the victim of this? Or maybe you're not a victim. Maybe there is something for a specific reason it's happening to you because there's maybe some understanding which you need to have, or maybe somebody else who is with you in the situation needs this understanding and needs you to be there as a support. So this lesson is really about accepting any kind of situation which comes our way, accepting and understanding and trusting that we are in charge of how we are experiencing that situation. Let's see what the prayer says. You are the self whom you created, Son. Creating like yourself and one with you. Let's read this again. You are the self. You are the self whom you created, Son, creating like yourself and one with you. So it almost sounds like as if you created yourself. Myself, which rules the universe, is but your will in perfect union with my own, which can but offer glad assent to yours, that it may be extended to itself. Definitely something which you need to take into the meditation. It is very, very powerful. I mean, we are getting way past simple words, and we are getting way past understanding things just simply with our limited mind. It is about experience. It's about really understanding trust, and it's really understanding self, and also it's understanding the communication between this present moment, this instant, and the voice for God, the voice of your whole self. You are the self whom you created, Son, creating like yourself and one with you. Myself, which rules the universe, is but your will in perfect union with my own, which can but offer glad assent to yours, that it may be extended to itself. And this one can be a tough one to understand. And that's why sometimes we definitely need the guidance from our higher self. So in the Qigong class, I'm going to ask you to read the lesson, the idea of the day, which is myself is ruler of the universe. And I'm also going to ask you to read the prayer, so you know what it is you want to, which way you want to access the idea of what is sin. To understand that there is really not sin, and you do not want to see the world through the lens of sin. As we have talked about a long time ago, you need to understand the problem so you can get rid of it. And that's why we are talking about sin. We are talking about to understand that there is none. And even maybe we're not calling it sin, but maybe we are accusing, pointing fingers at others. And every time we're doing this, we are saying you're sinful. This particular lesson is a pointer towards understanding the special thought, which is what is sin. And remember that we are advised to read what is sin at least once a day. And I definitely recommend you read it together with me at least once or several times during this 10-day period. And after the lesson, I suggest you do the standing Qigong class at least 2-3 times during this 10-day period. And the seated class you can do in the evening, and you can do it every day if you fancy, and at any time of the day. So here is the standing Qigong class for this lesson. Here is the seated meditation. Here you have what is sin, and here you have got a list of other Qigong classes which you maybe want to do instead. Enjoy!